Give me a bottle of anything and a glazed donut. To go.
Okay, friends, let's everybody take your positions, please. Here we go.
Counting
6, 5,
Counting down.
4, 3,
Where's Dave?
2,
Somebody want to wake up Dave?
rolling. Dave!
Philip H. Anselmo here from the Housecore Horror and Film Fest, Part 2. And you are watching Dave TV. Keep on watching.
I could be a step I let you rock play with God, but some man we know just to watch him die. Yourself up, we got a place to go. Time in a pie, that's a dominate show. Pick yourself up, we got today and the day. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hello, my name is Mark Torian, the lead singer of the Bullet Boys. And we're here in Austin, Texas, and you're watching Dave TV. Mwah!
Just a little kid, what is you have fun?
I don't hate Christians, I just think so, but the devil's been nicer than most folks.
Whatever it takes, I'll do what I can do to bridge this river that runs from me to you. And love is drifting, and it's a good day for the blue.
What's up? I'm Randy from Lamb of God. You're watching Dave TV.
Yo, I'm Big Daddy Rich.
And we're the Texas Hippie Coalition.
THC, baby, on Dave TV.
Get your food.
Outlaw.
Live all day, all night. We know what you need only right here on Dave TV.
Hey, 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 Austin, Texas. Welcome to another Dave TV. What is up, world? Thank you guys for tuning in. I have the amazing KACY CROWLEY in the studio today, so thank you, KACY, for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Heck yeah, I've been a longtime fan of Miss KACY CROWLEY's work, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on in her world these days, and I think she's got a guitar for some reason. You do music?
You know, I've been thinking about doing music. I figure I've been in Austin, you know, long enough.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. And we do this on Channel 10, Time Warner and Grande every Saturday afternoon from 5 to 6. And on Uverse, Channel 99, you have to select like 10. And there's stuff that I have never done, but people tell me you have to do some work to watch us on Uverse. So if you're watching on Uverse, thank you. And of course, streaming on the interwebs, which seems to be our kind of big fan base, so to speak. So send the link out on your Facebook or put it on your MySpace. That would be awesome. So, or tweet it or whatever it is that you do. And thanks for tuning in to Dave TV. We do spotlight Texas music in general. KACY CROWLEY, 20 years in Austin like now.
This
right?
week, yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is awesome.
Yeah, my ex-husband texted me yesterday and he's like, we put our stuff in a truck a day. I think it was like a year to the day yesterday, and drove down here from New York. Yeah.
That is so crazy.
I know, 20 years.
What brought you to Austin? How did that go down?
Music, definitely. Yeah. I was living in New York. I'd lived in LA before that, and I just was like, you know, my brother lives here, and so he was living here then, and so I'd been through and I knew how cool it was, and we needed a place where it was less about industry and more about songwriting, which is what I really wanted to be a part of, and sick of New York, so just wanted to be in, and at that time it was like you could really afford to live here, so.
Do you miss the snow?
Nope.
I bet you don't.
I miss the autumn, like and there's things I miss, but it's so funny because this year is the first year that I really feel like, okay, I'm a Texan, like I do. I feel like I'm an Austinite, and I'm here for the long term.
That's awesome. Well, I was born in California myself, so I'd still feel pretty Texan. But every time I get that question, I got to go, not really, but yeah, I'm Texan.
Oh yeah, come on.
So, you know.
How long have you been here?
Oh, geez, since I was 9.
Oh, okay. So you went to high school here.
About 15 years, right?
Yeah. Let's see. If you just turned 30, how long would that be?
So,
well, it's okay. I'm coming up on 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Day over
Yeah.
29. So the
Awesome.
first place I saw Miss KACY CROWLEY was at the fabulous Danny Crook's establishment, Steamboat, in '96, I think we were figuring.
Yeah.
And just amazing. I was probably seeing one of the many other house bands that night, and you were up early, and I always went and shot like all the bands. This is what I do, you know.
Yeah.
And we shot Pond
I remember.
Song back then.
Oh God, Pond Song.
Yeah.
That's so. I think about the song every once in a while, and then I always think to the video that you took of it because that's the only, that's it. That's.
How did you?
Its moment.
You moved here. You unpacked. What next? How did you go from just moving here to getting on stage at Steamboat, such an established venue in the
Well,
state?
that was interesting. I mean, I just came with like a mission. Like I just wanted my career to begin. I wanted to be a part of a scene. I wanted to be playing more. I wanted to have a band again, which I had a band in New York, and I did a lot of shows and I'd recorded, but I didn't feel like I fit in really anywhere until I moved here. So when I got here in '95, I started playing on the street. I played during South by, and then I was like a couple of corners down from Steamboat, and in '95 at some point, I was outside busking, and Andy Langer came upon me and introduced himself and suggested that I go over to Steamboat and talk to Danny. And I did. And then I got a residency there. It started out with like, I think I had like one night, and then I got one of those residencies and just kind of snowballed. I got to open up for Ian Moore, and that was like a really huge deal for me. And yeah, so.
He was laying the law down at Steamboat, man. Just
yeah, he was.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So Danny's had his hand in bringing so many bands to Austin, and he still does the occasional show, which I try to make every time. And I'm glad that I've been exposed to as many bands, including yours, that I have at that time. Do you remember who were you playing with back then?
In the band?
Yeah. Here.
Oh my God, you're trying to. Oh, you're
brain
racking. Yeah. Let's see. I think Einar was in my band.
Awesome.
From Gowdy. Trip Wiggins was in my band back then.
Yeah.
It was like Trip and Einar. I can't remember who else was in the band.
That's cool. I just thought check.
Who else was on guitar? Patrick Matera, who now plays with Katy Perry.
How about that?
I don't know if he was in it that early, but Chris Tondre was in the band in the very beginning. Yeah.
Of course, Einar with Kelly Clarkson, huh?
Oh, yeah, exactly. I know,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
I like to, get them used to girls and then send them out to like the big girl stars.
Absolutely. That's what it is.
Yeah.
What do you remember from them? Do you have any music you think that still lives in the skull that you want to share with us from that day?
God, you are just killing me today with this.
Right?
Let's see. Okay, I'll play a song for you. I won't remember it very well, but I wrote it when I was 19. I recorded it when I lived in LA. And then it did make it onto my first record. I think it was the last track on the record. And oddly enough, that's the one that I could probably play like half of right now. All right, you really want to hear this?
I do.
Okay. I wrote this one. I just moved to LA.
Little Mexican houses, vines and wire. No dog on guard. Just a wild kittens in the yard. Paw prints on the brand new car. You could just about see from where we are. A little Mexican houses, vines.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That takes me back to those sounds.
I will kill you for this.
That's right. My head's on the chopping block, you guys. That's live TV for you. So
I love
thank
it.
you, KACY. That's awesome. How about that? Wow.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah.
And I'm still playing those same 3 chords mostly. But that's okay.
You mentioned South by.
Yeah.
Which, if you're watching live, is coming up right around the corner. And,
Wait.
Yeah.
It's coming up?
Apparently.
Oh, damn.
It's totally different.
I
than
better
it
start
used to be,
practicing.
so,
I
yeah.
know, it's a different world.
It
but
is.
That's
do
okay.
you still do all that South by now?
I don't play in the official conference, but I usually do some like some day parties or something. And this year I'm going to play at Strange Brew. I'm going to do a noon show on Thursday during South by. And, I don't know if I'll do acoustic or have a band or what, but I just want to, it's still good to be a part of it. And yeah, it'll be fun.
I remember, I don't know, it was probably at the peak of that whole Atlantic thing, it seems like. You played a big South by show at the Iron Cactus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. The year before, I had played at Ruta Maya, the old Ruta Maya down on 4th Street.
Yeah.
And I love the way South by Southwest worked for me, because the first year, I just moved here in '95, and I had no idea what South by was. I just knew there was going to be a whole bunch of people playing music down on 6th Street. So I went out and played on the street. That night I met someone named Shane Widener, and he ended up paying for my first demo that I made here in town. That demo got me an indie deal, or actually it was one of the demos that got me an indie deal. Billy Harvey did one for me too. And that kind of led to, I made the record for Carpe Diem out of Dallas. And then that album got picked up by Atlantic. But while that was all going on, so the first year I played South by Southwest on the street. The second year, I didn't even apply, but I rented a rehearsal space. Remember ARC, Austin Rehearsal Complex?
Yeah.
I heard that Fastball, which was then called something else, was having a big Hollywood Records showcase. So I said, I'm gonna buy like a 12-pack and have like free beer and just rent a room and do a showcase. And I ended up doing that, and we just played for like 2 hours, and I met so many people, like industry people came in, and I just had a big sign that said free beer.
That's great.
And then the next year, it was when I had my indie record was made, and I had some record company interest, and Atlantic was one of those labels, and I had what felt to me like the important showcase for me, which was at Ruta Maya that year. And it was just the most fun I've ever had. It was probably one of my favorite shows I've ever played. Yeah. And then, of course, then I put the record on Atlantic. And then the next year I had a showcase at Iron Cactus. It might have even been 2 years later.
Was it?
That was the Iron Cactus one. Yeah. Because after I got dropped shortly after the Iron Cactus one. So
yeah.
it could have been a few years, because I was on Atlantic for like 3 or 4 years. So anyways, it's just funny how it works.
Yeah.
That's the full circle of South by.
That's kind of what
You
I'm
get
talking
signed,
about.
and then you're unsigned.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and that used to be the cycle, not that it was better than it is today or worse or anything, but I'm kind of like basically wanted to talk to people about the music industry today. Like, there's not that anymore.
No.
There's
yeah.
the one song, or
Yeah.
whatever it might be, and that's it, and you fizzle. Back then it was like the tour and the album and the video and the weeks or months of airplay, and you got a little more juice out of it.
Yeah.
It's all kind of trickled down from there. I would imagine, and I don't want to speak for you, but I would imagine you probably wouldn't trade that experience for anything.
Oh my God, it was the best experience.
Exactly.
I got to work with so many great people. So many of my dreams came true. It was super fun. I mean, I would have loved to continue to have a big, huge career. And I probably could have made some decisions after Atlantic that would have kept my career on a different level than it is now. But I made decisions that were best for me and the kind of person that I am, and so that wasn't my path. But I absolutely would not trade any of that. It was freaking so much fun.
That's awesome.
Got to travel. Yeah, it was great.
And I mean, for a fan of your music, it was cool to hear you on the radio. It was cool to see the video on TV.
Yeah,
I was playing the video, and the Atlantic sent it to me, and I was like,
really?
That's cool.
They did something.
Yeah, that promo team on video was really good then. Mary Beth Kammerer was the lady who was nailing it. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
she did everything for everybody.
Wow. I remember her.
Yeah, so that was a good team back then. And These days, it's more, would you agree, kind of do-it-yourself? A lot of major bands have dropped the label on purpose, and they're doing it independent and doing what makes them happy.
Yeah, it seems like a totally different business now, and I can't say that I'm really that educated about it. Yeah, everything I know, I think, is not really relative anymore to what's going on, or excuse me, relevant. Yeah, so we'll see. You know,
business is an interesting word you use because it's not, unfortunately, a business anymore. People aren't, like I said, it's rare that money comes out of this for the real artist, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that might have always been like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, you know, I think I hit. You know, I got lucky in a lot of ways. I worked really hard for the place that I got, but it also was like the perfect timing. I mean, you know, it was the absolute perfect timing that I had. Yeah. So. But now I'm just like, I'm really happy writing a lot, and that isn't to say that I wouldn't love to be out doing it again and touring here and there, but I've been focused on other things, but writing and music is still like the center of my life for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Sundays, speaking of writing music and songwriting,
yeah.
At Strange Brew, you, is it fair to say host?
I host an open mic, and it's so fun. It's, I call it One Song at a Time. And it's from 10 to 12 every Sunday night down at Strange Brew. And basically people sign up just like a regular open mic, but it's one song. And so we get like up to 24 people in the 2-hour period. And you just get to hear all levels of musicians, and everyone's really supportive of each other. People are starting to write together. Yeah. We've booked, because you know I do the booking at Strange Brew or some of it. And we've booked a few people out of the open mic already. Like, it inspires me, you know.
It's a great room.
It's such a good room, and there's so many great artists out there that are either just starting or have been doing it for a while. And my friends all come down and play.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun.
I know a guy who plays guitar.
He might think about coming out sometime.
If he didn't have a Sunday gig.
It's Sunday at 10, so I mean, it is kind of late, but it's packed anyways, you know, and it gets rid of those Sunday night blues.
Yeah.
I hate Sundays.
They get in your shoes.
They get in your shoes, yeah. Yes, they do,
and they work
Dave,
to bring
they
you
do.
down. Yeah, so.
I hate a Sunday.
Oh, good time.
But now I like it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, how about a song? Do you know any songs?
You know, I'm going to try to remember this one.
Yeah?
Yeah. I know a few.
You're watching KACY CROWLEY on DaveTV, guys. If you just tuned in, tell a friend, and stick around. We'll be here till about 6 o'clock Texas time.
By the train tracks, an average apartment complex. Sometimes I like to look back, nothing good ever comes of that. All I wanted was to win another wind-blown bright blue ribbon. Listen to the whistle blow. Everything got somewhere to go. So did I so many years ago. But now I'm moving too slow. All I wanted was to win another wind-blown bright blue ribbon. But every place I come in is a place I'm unforgiven. I still hope for that blue, blue ribbon. Tonight I walk the kindest streets in my my lonesome heart beat. I live by the train tracks, an average apartment complex. Sometimes I like to look back, nothing good ever comes of that. All I wanted was to win another wind-blown bright blue ribbon. But every place I come in is a place I'm unforgiven. I still hope for that blue, blue ribbon. I still hope for that blue, blue, blue ribbon. Thank you.
I love that song.
Thank you. I wrote that for it's not the song game, but it was a different thing. It's a quarterly event called a tertulia, which Gretchen Graham, John D. Graham's wife, runs at the Continental Gallery upstairs, and we get a theme, and it's to artists of different mediums. You get a theme, and you write for that theme, and everyone shows up, and it's free by tradition, and you get to enjoy each other's piece. And so the theme that week was hope.
Ah.
So
yeah.
That was my little hopeful song.
That is good stuff, KACY. God,
Thanks.
love it.
Thanks.
So this songwriting game, I have discussed with several people who've been on the show, Johnny Gowdy, Tom Meany, Ray Prim. All these folks have been members of this songwriting team, game thing. So tell me your part in that.
Okay, so I was having pancakes with Bob Schneider and a couple of people about 1,000 years ago. I don't know, it was like 2000 or something.
It's probably about 998.
Yeah, I mean, it really was like 2000, I think, or maybe 2001. And we, Bob and I don't know, we were talking about a title, and he said, what about holding on to the world? And I said, no, why don't we do holding in the world? And I said, I think a better title is holding in the world. And he said, all right, let's both write it. And so, and then I think a couple other people at the table were like, we'll do something too. And that's actually how it started.
Wow.
And I was in it probably for only like, I don't know, 6 months or something. I don't think it was longer than that. And then it kind of took on its own, Bob took it to a place that was like way beyond where I would or could, but, and it turned into this amazing thing with all these offshoots of the group. Like I'm in 2 song game groups right now that are unrelated to that first one. But that first one apparently went kind of national, and there were a lot of different artists involved in it that were kind of well known. And but I was out of it. Right, I was way gone out of it at that point. But it was fun. Like in the beginning, we would, now they send each other recordings. But in the beginning, we would get together once a week and play each other our pieces. Or read each other a poem or a story or whatever it was that you did. And so that was the beginning. And when it got more digital and I don't know, I dropped out for whatever reason.
Heard it was like a gang. You have to get like beaten in or beaten out.
You might have to get beaten in. I don't even know if I could get back in, to be honest. Probably not.
Awesome. Well, he's. I'm glad Bob's doing as well as he had. I've been a fan of what he's done for years.
Oh, and, me too, man. He works so hard.
He's a hard-working man.
And he's just the most prolific person. He actually gave me 5 CDs one time with 20 songs on each.
Oh my.
And a score sheet where I was to listen to every song and score them, and I did. It was like 100 songs, and it was pretty, like it blew my mind. I'm like, God, I have like 5 new ones. He has like 100, and there were some, it was one of those things where there were some songs where I was like, I never want to hear that song again. That was like the worst shit I've ever heard in my life. And then there were some songs that were like the most genius thing I'd ever heard, and I was like, oh my God, like that's just brilliant. And and there was a lot in between, and I just had a lot of fun doing that. But anyways, so I'm happy for him too. He's great.
Still no Joe Rockhead or Ugly Americans gigs.
What? Yeah. What's up with that,
Bob? Oh well, that's my little rant.
Bob. Yeah. Let's look at the camera.
Right.
Bob. Ugly Americans.
More Austin musicians.
Yes.
Johnny Gowdy.
Love the Johnny Gowdy
Oh my
to
God,
death.
is he like not the best?
He's just one of my favorite people on this planet.
Just cheeks.
And now he's doing this whole podcast thing, which is, it's so cool. Like, we've all grown up and we're still doing music, but we found these other things too that we're good at, which is really cool.
Isn't
and
that awesome?
He's so good at that podcast.
It's amazing. I was lucky enough to be asked to do it, and it was just one of the best interviews I ever had.
One of the best interviews I've ever had. Me too.
It was great.
Yeah.
He's so cool because
I know.
you relate, and he seems to connect with everybody.
That is very true. He's been through so much in his life, and he's done so much, and he does relate to everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you the liar or the saint?
Oh, I was definitely the saint. They're just a bunch of liars.
Will that band ever see the light of day again?
Oh, I wish. I really miss it. You know, we talk about. I just ran into Jeremy now this last night actually.
Wow.
And I'd love to do it again. I mean, we all have like different schedules. A couple of the guys had jobs, and you know, we always talk about a reunion. It was one of the most fun experiences I've had because it was like 3 front people, so the pressure was off, you know, and we had really good control of our egos, you know, and we were all like cheering each other on, and it was just fun to like play guitar on other people's songs, and you know, I got to play a little keyboard.
Yeah.
And it was really a great, fun project. So I'd love to do it again.
That would be awesome to see. I'd love to see that.
The Saints.
So Jay, I think if you want to roll a couple clips, we'll probably take a little break, get a little water, and come back. I have some video prepared. I believe the first set is from the Strange Brew Johnny Gowdy residency, where he brought in different people every week. And,
Great.
That was quite fun.
Yeah, that was great. He was awesome at that. Yeah.
So you're watching Dave TV. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back with some more KACY CROWLEY. I appreciate it. Y'all enjoy and tell us what you think.
Don't let go. I know, no matter how hard you try, it takes you in and out among the swells and tides until it's through with you. And you wish it was none of your business. It won't go far enough away from you not to witness if love has betrayed you. You don't wanna know. You don't wanna know. Just turn around and go. It's true, and it won't stop till he's found it, and then you'll break and shake, 'cause you can't get your head around it. There'll come a day he'll stray and say sorry 'cause he couldn't stay. He won't go far enough. You just wish you would just go away. And if love has betrayed you, you don't wanna know. You don't wanna know. Just turn around and
How about that? Casey Lane and Johnny Gowdy doing a wonderful little number there. She does some backup vocals. I saw her sing with Joseph King at the Bat Fest, I guess it was.
Is that right?
Yeah. She's got a great voice. I guess she's from New York, if I'm not mistaken.
I think she was from New York, yeah.
And I guess Joseph spends a lot of time up there now. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know Joseph that well.
Yeah.
I'd kind of know him through Johnny and the scene and stuff. So yeah, but I think that's what's going on.
I met him with all the Canvas stuff back in Lucy's days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Lucy's crazy. Surfer Bar.
Yeah, did it close or something?
Yeah, and I thought they were open for a hot minute again, but they weren't really doing music and stuff. So, yeah. So,
I hate when things close.
I know. It brings me into exactly what I wanted to talk about, which is clubs in general. And you have been involved with Strange Brew. I'm not actually sure to what extent, you know, you are working there, but what's your involvement with Strange Brew?
I am the booking manager, and I have been since we opened the venue. Before that, I was actually a barista. I had gotten divorced and wasn't making the living that I wanted to at music, and wanted to be able to keep doing music, so I got a job as a barista, and my friend Scott opened that coffee shop, and I went to him and said, I need a job. I don't know if I'll be, you know, I've never done anything, but that doesn't involve animals or a guitar.
Yeah.
But let me try it. And so I ended up doing that, and he kept like threatening to open this music menu and have me book it, you know, and he did. And I got to start booking bands, and it's kind of just snowballed and been this great experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that was a big change for you at that time in your life, would you say? Like from, yeah.
You mean the divorce and
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah, we were together so long, and we're still friends. And
That's good.
Yeah, he's the most wonderful person, you know,
Cool.
and have a lot of. I think we still have a lot of respect for each other and everything. And just one of those things, you know.
Yeah, no, I do know. Oh
Yeah.
my God, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good to maintain that. It took me a long time to even fathom doing that, you know. I'm like, screw you, I'm gone, you know.
Oh, really? You got
Yeah.
because you got divorced, and then are you friends now?
Yeah, well, friends is a very liberal word, but we're not enemies.
That is the good thing. Yeah.
So the less enemies I have in this world, the better, I think. It's really rough.
Life is too short.
I used to say, you know, Austin's a small town, but, you know, the globe is a small world. I don't care, you know, wherever you are, we're all connected.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that's a hard time to hold a grudge. It hurts you more than anyone else.
Yeah, and, you know, my marriage, I had like a really happy marriage for a long time, and I truly believe like that who I am today has so much to do with that chapter in my life, which was, you know, for the most part, pretty incredible and a great adventure. I'll say that. Like, I wouldn't wanted to have gone through all that stuff that I went through with Atlantic and just so much with anybody else. Like,
right on.
You know, we had a freaking blast.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
I think you've recently met your soulmate, though.
Roman, my dog.
Yes, ma'am.
My dog, yes. Well,
What a sweet dog.
I lost my first soulmate. Excuse me. I lost her 2 years ago, this week as well, and that broke my heart, like literally. And I just figured it was time, you know, to heal and give back, like all the love I have for dogs. You know, I love animals so much.
Awesome.
And so I adopted this little Italian Greyhound. He's 8 years old, and he's just the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
He looks to be a very spoiled, rotten brat.
He's so spoiled. Now, Mabel was a spoiled, rotten brat because I had her since she was a puppy.
Aw.
So, like, I completely, you know, ruined her and turned her into, like, a neurotic little princess. But she was the best neurotic little princess in the world.
Hey.
But Roman is, like, he's so gentle-spirited and calm and just... You know, I think he could be a therapy dog because he just, and he loves everybody. Like, I thought when I met him, like, wow, we're really bonding. Like, this is about me and him. But then I realized he bonds with everybody. So it's not me.
It didn't crush your dreams?
It's it. No, he's so special. I just feel like I lucked out completely.
Yeah. I was back to booking in the club, and you book a lot. So I was talking to some friends last night about, you know, how you book bands, and my boy puts together his birthday show once a year, which was last night. It was amazing.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, and I guess the main consensus, especially from him, was once a year is enough for me. And I know booking this show is like, duh! So how do you deal with that? I mean, everybody wants to play Strange Brew.
It's hard. I mean, I can see how booking like talent buyers and booking agents and stuff become hated because it is really hard to make everybody happy. You can't make everyone happy. It's not a good fit for everybody, and we can't accommodate everybody. So it's been hard. It's taken me, you know, I think it's 3 years this March that the venue's been open, and I'm just hitting my stride. I'm just starting to get comfortable. I'm just getting I'm just starting to, I swear to God, I'm just getting back to people that I should have gotten back to 3 years ago. But I think it took me that long to just sort of figure it out. It's, it's organization, which isn't necessarily my strong suit. I mean, I'm definitely like artist-minded, but I love giving people gigs. I love music. I love hearing, new people. And so when I stay in that part of it, it feels really good. And then there's just a lot of emailing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, being that it is a business, it is a, you have to stay above the line. So you have to, unfortunately, your passion part, which is amazing and fun, and that's why I do this, weighs with the how many are you going to draw thing. It has to.
Well, absolutely, and that is really hard. And what Scott Ward is the owner, and him and I have kind of, we have a good balance where we certainly find things that we absolutely love that we know maybe no one's going to come to, and we balance that out with, bigger bands that, and we love them too, but that we know are going to draw and pack the room and sell out. And so you have to have that balance. Like, we love discovering, new people or supporting people that are just great artists, but don't necessarily draw that many, people. Like, there's so many good, it blows my mind. There's so many nights where I see people playing and they are stellar, and there might only be 12 people in the audience. And there's no reason for that necessarily, except that, it's a town with a lot of things to do. And, and people sometimes go to other shows.
Can't all be the god of hellfire.
But we try to get it all. We try to make it all happen. We'd love all the great people to have, crowds there. That's the best.
I love every time I've been. I love the lineup. I can't make near all the shows I want to see. I missed Hamill recently. I really wish.
Oh my God! Why did you miss that?
Work.
Dude, he's hilarious.
Isn't Ed Hamill the best?
He blew my mind. Yeah, he was.
He
so
brought
good.
Detroit with him, right? His boy. Did he come to this gig? His son's been touring with him.
No, he didn't.
Okay, because he's been doing a lot of the road shows with his son.
If he was there, I didn't meet him, but I think I would have met him.
Yeah.
I was working the door that night, so.
He's great.
Yeah.
I used to do this show all the time.
Oh,
so,
cool. Yeah.
Great. He actually held my son on the air when he was a baby. So.
He didn't drop him.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to tell anyone about that. So, I think I'd like to hear another song. You have another song?
I have.
I'd love for you to play a song.
I'm trying to think what I'll do. You want to hear that funeral song?
Let's do that funeral song.
All right. This one's going to hopefully be on my next record that I hope I can get something done soon. I don't know what I did with my guitar pick, so.
Your what pick?
Guitar pick.
I bet we have a pick in this room if you can't find one.
I'm kind of specific.
We have at least 2 players within a reach.
I don't necessarily.
Yeah, come on. Ladies and gentlemen, Deanna Oliveris to the set.
Yay!
Look,
oh my God, you guys are the best. Let me see.
Will and Deanna for picks.
Holy mackerel.
You got thin, medium, heavy?
I like a little thin.
Awesome. Then his may as well go away. His are like thick.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. This one will be good. Only in Austin. You need a pick and you get 40 of them.
Pick of destiny.
Yeah. Let me make sure I'm on. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay.
I threw a funeral for spring. The violets gathered for the gardenia burning. Everyone wore red and everything was dead. I threw a funeral for spring. I found a final tree to climb, the crooked scarecrow of a pine, up there with the moon lamenting over our June. I found a final tree to climb, and I said, oh, 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 I think I'm ready. I said, oh, 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 I think I'm ready. I'm ready to grow. I drew our names into the dirt. Everything we were, it's a beautiful blur. I shook the ashes from my skirts and I said, oh, 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 I think I'm ready. Oh, 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 I think I'm ready. I said, oh, 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 I'm ready. Ready to grow. Ready to grow. Ready to grow. Ready to grow. I threw a funeral for spring. I threw a funeral for spring. The violets gathered for the gardenia burning. Everyone wore red. Everything was dead. I threw a funeral for spring. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing it. That's a
Thank
great
you.
song. That's one of your newer ones?
Yeah, that's actually another Tertulia song.
Ah.
And the theme was drought.
Ah.
And we were in the middle of a drought, so it was
Yeah,
kind of, yeah. It's a couple years old, but it's unrecorded, so
Okay.
yeah.
So you mentioned getting maybe this on the record. Is that what's going on now with KACY CROWLEY? What's
Ye-
in the right now?
Yeah, you know, I've been writing like crazy because I joined 2 different song game groups. So I'm writing 2 songs a week.
Wow.
And I've gotten a bunch of new stuff out of it, and I'm really excited about it. And I thought I was going to make 1 record, and then I wrote a bunch of new songs, and it's kind of leading me in a little bit different of a direction, which has been, really interesting and cool. But I think now I feel like ready. Like I feel like I have enough material, and it's going to be probably more country than I've done ever before. Yeah, it's weird. I guess 20 years in Texas, and it's like finally. I've always had a little Americana in me for sure.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to a lot of country music, and yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Like that funeral is obviously not that country, but like a couple of my other songs are, and I don't know. We'll see. Who knows?
I'm a big fan of real country music.
Yeah.
Dale Watson, I think, calls what's going on Ameripolitan.
Well,
So-
I agree, but you know what's really funny? This is embarrassing. It's shameful. I constantly listen to the absolute worst country top 40 on the planet. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated by it.
Yeah.
Because I never, I've been here so long, but honestly, it's only been recently that I've like gotten, in the last few years, been exposed to the whole Texas country scene and just in general country music. I never listened to it. And so I'm kind of fascinated by the whole thing. So I have been listening to some really like, well, I don't want to say awful because some of it is actually kind of good, but a lot of it is just, you might as well listen to any top 40 station, so it's my shameful secret.
I'll share mine, of course. Which you probably know, though. You know,
I don't
you know me so
know.
long. I mean, I listened to the Spice Girls years ago when they were out and about.
Oh,
but, like,
my God.
Today, I'm
Sporty
listening to, like,
Spice.
Sporty Spice is my favorite.
No
Mel
way. How
C.
did I know that?
How about that? Wow.
I can feel it.
You know, Meghan Trainor, I'm listening to that song repeatedly. I haven't gotten sick of it yet.
Which one?
All about that bass.
That bass. Yeah, I know. I like that stuff too.
And you know, Katy Perry and
I like
Pink
Katy Perry.
is
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked pop music a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that song, "Take Me to Church."
Awesome.
Such a good song. Wow. Oh my God.
And you know, I went to see Shania Twain back in the day when she came through.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on the pop country.
Well,
thing,
you know
but,
what's really funny? Okay, when I lived in LA, so I was like 19 and 20, so it was 3 or 4 years ago.
That's
Yeah.
3.5.
Yeah. Oh my God, we're so old that we make those jokes. And they're like, and people like know that they're a joke because obviously we're not.
What you talking about?
I was playing a karaoke night.
Awesome.
Okay, so I was like 20, and I was very serious. So I had brought my own original cassette tape with no vocals on it, so that I could pop it in and sing along to my own song at karaoke. So it was in North Hollywood, and Hervé Villechaize was there. Remember the plane,
Yes.
Yeah. So
How could you see him? Oh.
Yeah, well, his assistant came up and said, Mr. Villechaize would really like to meet you. So I went over and I met him, and we kept in touch for a while, and I sent him some music and stuff, and we talked on the phone, got to know each other just a little bit.
Wow.
And he was quite a gentleman. I know there's always weird rumors about him and stuff, but he was like such a nice guy.
Awesome.
And his advice to me, and this was in 88, I think, 1988, was to Duke that I should be doing country music.
How about that?
And I honestly laughed and thought it was like the worst advice I'd ever heard in my life. And because I was a girl from Connecticut.
Yeah, right.
I had never, I had no idea. I thought he was insane. Well, and it hadn't really had that resurgence yet, in 88. So I laugh now because I'm like,
He was seeing the dollars.
He was right. He was right.
Well,
A little bastard.
Has he once said, the planes, and there wasn't a plane?
That's a good point.
So of course he was right.
That's correct.
Oh, well,
I know. How funny
Sunday
is that?
nights, Casey does one song at a time at Strange Brew, and she's been kind enough to come join us on Dave TV today. Time has sped by as it always does. I understand you might have a couple songs left in you, and it is all about music.
Absolutely. I'd love to play some more.
You can close us out with a couple songs?
Yeah.
We'll get out of here, and thanks
sounds
y'all for
good.
watching Dave TV. We'll be here next week with a mighty live set from Chaska for Valentine's Day.
Oh, cool.
So buy your sweetie something sweet, and I'll leave this to KACY CROWLEY and the well-crafted hands of the guitar and voice.
Dave, it's been so good.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I love you. You're the best.
Oh, you're the
Yeah.
best. Love you.
I'm so glad you're still doing what you do. All right.
The dog days are endless. The girls are all half dressed, teasing the guys at the creek. The cattle are grazing, the cowboys are lazy. Texas is falling asleep. We all need a day in the sun. We all need to make a decision. Let's you and me decide to be happy. Decide to be happy. Hey. The dance hall is packed in a town called Lotus. The whiskey is pouring itself, and the trucks on the street, they're all hitched up like horses. The long hairs are smoking in stealth. We all need a night on the town. We all need our feet off the ground. Let's you and me decide to be happy. Decide to be happy. It's a hard life, I know. You're here, then you go to a better place, they say. But this is a pretty good place to be today. Hey, two-steppers are spinning. The band is still jamming. The bells are ringing last call. But we won't go home till the last seat is sown. Texas is having a ball. We all need a little more fun. so this next song is a song that I wrote for one of those song games. The title that week was Gun Shy. It reminded me of a pact I made with myself when I was a teenager that was that no matter how many times I got my heart broken, that I would never stop being somebody who loved completely, and that I would never be like bitter and get hardened. That's been a hard one to keep up, but I think I've done it. So this is Gun Shy. I told myself a long time ago I'll never be gun shy. I'll never be gun shy. When I'm off the rails and terrified, oh, I gotta make myself fly. I gotta make myself alive. I always wanna fall for it. Love bust me open, steal the stars from my eyes, rob me blind, one night at a time. Play tricks on my magic. Love, the heartless bandit. I always wanna fall for it. I always wanna fall for it. I always wanna. I always wanna. I always wanna fall for it. I could crumble or find a wall to climb, waving my arms near fire on the front line. I'm over here warming up to fight, braving the cold air on another long night. I always wanna. I always wanna. I always wanna. I always wanna. I always wanna fall for it. Told myself long time ago I'll never be gun shy. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.
I probably am gun shy, so I'm gonna listen to that song over and over and over because
Yeah, you can't be. You have to open yourself up again. Because it's worth the hurt. I don't know.
and even if you want to, it's not just wanting to.
That is true.
You know, so that's the part.
That's true. I mean, you have to take the time to let the damage kind of like heal up and whatever. But but get back in there.
We're gonna need another hour.
Yeah, I know, we really are. It's true.
So thanks for watching Dave TV. Thanks to my boys Will and Ryan on camera. Thanks to Jay for doing an awesome directing job, and the wonderful Oliveris family, Deanna and Nathan, and our studio audience. Mike and Kim, some other folks here. So thank you guys. We'll be here next week with Chaska, and we'll close the show out with a piece of a little number by fabulous Nathan, No Stupid Drama, on guitar. And thanks again, Casey.
Thank you
High five.
so
Good job.
much.
Awesome.
Oh, we missed.
That's weak.
Oh,
Awesome.
that
There
was
we
good.
go. Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All my life, live the dream, but it's not what it seems. A call to arms, a revelry, fight the fight, live the dream. Heavy my soul, so somber, it's so obscene. Come alleviating pain, so come make me clean, a sister morphine. Sister Morphine.